Hi, welcome to What is RSA Animation? When you think about it, it's really a digital form of mind mapping. When we take our textbook, the content area reading, literacy and learning, across the curriculum, and you look at the different strategies, under the area of study strategies, you'd find this underneath graphic representation. Really, what does it do though? It helps identify important ideas and how they fit together. So when you're kind of thinking about that, I think of like a puzzle piece when you're putting together jigsaw puzzles, and where do they put? It's kind of an area with that. So when you look at mind mapping, you have your core idea, and then from that you have your stems, which are kind of your breakdown from there, the next major idea, and then it breaks down into more ideas, which are branches. RSA animation, you write or draw your ideas. You can put pictures if you want to. You can also add different colors. And you can also add angles. It's just anything that's going to make the ideas stand out. Something that's going to make them different. Now, a lot of these you've seen may have a hand just on a screen and writing all around the same entire whiteboard. But if you don't have a large enough whiteboard, then you will record a new frame for every idea and erase between. This way, it just gives enough room for everything for what you're doing. Then you're going to also add audio to this afterwards, or some music. So where does this fit within the instructional framework? Well, it's a post-reading or research. It really represents what you know. So as a teacher, what IRPs in science does this apply to? Any IRP that can be broken down. Again, going back to the mind mapping, you're thinking about the whole idea of the core concept and then the ideas off of that. So let's look at an example. PLO A1 in Science 10. Demonstrate safe procedures is your core idea. From that, your stems are identify dangerous procedures, and then you put your branches or your ideas off of that. You would also identify appropriate equipment, and again you put your ideas or branches off of that, and then identify personal protection equipment, and again you'd use your branches off of that. Examples of keywords you're going to look for are identify, describe, communicate, demonstrate, and illustrate. The PLOs this will not work for are those that want more detail, much like an essay, but that doesn't mean this won't work. What it does is it gives a good outline to build an essay from, much like the RAF strategy. The actual RSA process is a 1-week process. And day 1, you gather information and from your class notes or your research that you've done. Day 2, this is the writing day, and the day you make storyboards. Now, storyboards are sheets you're going to give out to your students. As you can see, I've kind of drawn an example here of it. And on these, they're going to write each scene as it's drawn out, one by one, and it's written with what's going to be said or drawn and the color changes that are done. They're also going to be writing what will be said. This is going to be their script. Day 3, they're going to start filming. And for that, they're going to use video cameras that are on tripods. The students are going to write on a whiteboard, much like what you see me doing here. It's the exact same thing. And they're going to be marked off on the areas of the edge so they know not to write beyond that for the filming. After filming, the teacher or the students are going to download the movie into iMovie or any other movie editing program, and they're going to lock out the audio. Then they're going to edit the clips, and then from the edited clips, they're going to speed up the video 400 times. Day 4, more filming, and now you're going to add voiceovers. This is where the students are going to add their voice over the new video clips that they've already put together. That's where the script comes in. Day 5, you're going to finish your voiceovers and upload your completed videos to YouTube. Okay, where would you use RSAs? So you're thinking about it as a teacher here. Definitely it's a project at the end of a unit. This is something where the students are going to begin their preparation at the start. So they're going to start their research for the start of the unit. So now we're going to look at a kind of a real-life fictitious situation of example of how to use RSAs. We're going to go to a northern community of 5,500 people. This is a planned community, which means it was actually built by the British Columbia government and a local coal mine. Now think about the amount of money to be in this place. They built all the houses. They actually built the roads first, and then they built the houses. Everything is top of the line in this community. The local industry is 2 coal mines. People move there just to be part of this community. There's no low-income housing. The majority of families own their own home. There are some apartment rentals that are there if they need them. There's no local transit. For students who live in outlying areas, they're bussed in on a school bus. And the nearest community is 1 hour drive away. The secondary school, much like the rest of the community, beautiful building, everything top of the line, including technology within it. 400 students. Most of them are latchkey kids, which means that both parents are working. It's really seldom to see a stay-at-home parent. These students also have very high access to money. It's not odd for them to have a $50 bill in their pocket. There's many extracurricular activities. So they've got stuff like swimming and skating and baseball and clubs. The big one is hockey. Huge on hockey in this community. Grade 10 science class is where we're going to go to. 22 students. 15 of them are girls. 7 of them are boys. Their post-secondary plans for this group, well, 4 of them, they're going to university or college. 10 of them, they're going to be mine workers. And 8 are going, I don't know, probably work in the mine. The age range of the group, from 14 to 17. So you've got about 3 years gap there. The culture, over 60% are from Newfoundland. Yes, that is a culture. 3 of them are African Canadian, and 1 is a foreign exchange student from Spain. IEPs, we have 2, 1 for reading and 1 for math. Absenteeism is a major issue with this group. 1 because of hockey, and 2 because the parents are working. So again, back to the Science 10 class. They are in Chapter 3 of their textbook. And the core idea they're going to be going through here is ecosystems changing over time. Okay, so then from that we're going to look at our stems, which are changes occur naturally in the ecosystem, how ecosystems change over time, the natural events that affect ecosystems, and how humans influence the ecosystem. The final project, there we go, is an integrated research investigation. What the students are going to do is they're going to assess an electronic product from cradle to the grave. Now, you got 22 students, so you're going to break them into groups. And these are going to be prearranged groups that are going to accommodate for the IEPs and the other issues. So you're going to have 3 groups, 2 of 7, 1 of 8. The groups are going to choose 1 electronic product. And then they're going to take that, and it could be like a Game Boy, it could be PlayStation, it could be iPhone, a laptop, or a cordless phone, anything that's electronic. And from that they're going to conduct the cradle to the grave. Now that might sound kind of vague. How would you do that? I'm kind of looking at it going, I have no idea. How would you do that? Here's the steps. Step 1, they're going to look at design. They're going to research the technology that was used to design this product. And what are the impacts of that on the environment? Step 2, they're going to look at manufacturing. So what raw materials were used? And again, what impact does this have on the environment? Because that's what this is all about, is impact on the environment and what they're looking at. Step number 3 is transportation. So this is first off, how was it transported? Did they use a truck? Did they use a boat? Did they use a train? The next thing they're going to look is how far is it to the store? So is it around the world in China? Is it down the street? Where was it made at? Kind of thing. Step number 4 is the consumer. So what type of transport does the consumer use to go and get it? Did they use a car? Did they use a bike? Did they go on a bus? And what's the environmental impact of each of these types of transport? Step number 5 is a useful life. How long should this product last? Is this something that will last for 10 months? Is this something that will last for 3 years or 10 years? Does it degrade over time? And is it outdated by new technology? So then they're going to take this and they're going to compare within this useful life. They're going to compare the products that are replaced frequently with the products with longer life cycles. So what environmental impact will each of these have? Then they're going to look at the factors that are going to influence consumers to replace products before the product's useful life is over. So step number 6 is disposal. How is this discarded? Does it go into a landfill? Is toxic waste produced from this? And they're going to research existing and new ways products can be recycled. So what's available now? What could we do? These are things they're going to be thinking about. The presentation for the project, you guessed it, RSA. So why would you use RSA? Well, it encourages group participation. It encourages collaborating, it encourages thinking, and it encourages contributing to a positive learning environment. It really gets the students involved in what they're doing. And it allows for review of knowledge. What did they learn? It also gives a final product, something they can hang on to, and it also gives ownership of the learning. The students own it. They know what it is. But most important reason to use an RSA is that it gives students something to be excited about. It makes them excited about learning. This is a really cool product for the kids to use. So here's my resources where I found everything. Thanks for checking this out, and I hope you find it useful.